We got some people joining us today. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing, Jim? Ronald?
Good to be heard. We'll let people get joined in here and get going here in a moment.
Okay. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing good. How about you all?
All right.
Awesome.
You have a good Thanksgiving?
I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I went camping in Savannah, Georgia, or near Savannah, Georgia, and we thoroughly loved it. We're getting into RVing some, so we took a trailer trip down to towards Savannah, Georgia. How about you all? Y'all do anything fun?
Just ate Thanksgiving dinner. That's about it.
Well, we did the same thing, but on the way down, we picked up a Cracker Barrel Thanksgiving feast, and actually it was thoroughly great. It was really good, and we had a good meal at our own campsite and trailer. Really worked out well. Everything was safe and wonderful and extremely tasty.
Yeah, that sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, it worked out well. Every now and then you do everything and everything just works out right. And sometimes it's just a disaster, but this time it was a great.
Right. Despite your efforts, it worked out well.
That's right. Absolutely.
Did you use that new fancy rig that you have out in the back?
Well, that's my train hauling trailer. Which I do have, sleeping quarters in. So when I travel on the trips, or train trips, for the hobby, I have a place to stay and live in. But for recreational, we have another trailer. We have a pretty good sized camping trailer. And just within the past couple of years, we started going places and enjoying things. And so it's a little bit of a getaway when I'm not, having fun doing the trains or making the trains or weekends on some weekends where we travel for trains. So
Fifth wheel or travel trailer?
What's that?
Fifth wheel or travel trailer?
It's a travel trailer. I've had fifth wheels in the past, of course, with our big, train hauling rigs. But this time I like having a cap on the back of my pickup. And so the travel trailer works well. Plus we have a large pickup, so we can handle a travel trailer very comfortably.
Yeah. I hear those Hensley hitches are pretty good.
Yeah, yep, they are. And I mean, there's all kinds of range of hitches and RV stuff. I mean, it's a whole nother hobby, let me tell you.
That's for sure.
If I wasn't doing trains, I might be doing it, but no time for that. Just trains only.
That's what my wife says anyway. She's a train widow, I guess.
There you go. Well, they're the important ones. I mean,
So Jim, do you have trains around your Christmas tree?
Well, it all depends on your perspective of that. Around the house, there, on the 5 acres I'm on, there's a big train track, and so it goes all around the house. So, yes, in a way.
Yeah. Well, for the first time, I set up a set of HO trains underneath my Christmas tree. I don't know why I did it, but.
Well, I might break down and do something like that because this year is the first year that I have acquiesced to a pre-lit artificial tree. I have been a holdout for the real thing until now, and age and just the convenience of it has finally caught up. So,
bet you don't miss having to pick one out, do you?
Well, the romance of finding the perfect Christmas tree and getting it, and hot chocolate and all that, it actually works out a whole lot better in the movies than it does in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that right.
And then at the end, and then when you pay $100 for one, you're thinking, well, what happened to the movie one that was 15, you know? So
Yeah.
the Grinch comes out in me then.
Well, I bought my artificial tree a year ago
Mm-hmm.
while my wife was on vacation.
Yeah.
And when she got home, she saw this beautiful Christmas tree all lit in the corner. She says, when did you have the time to do that? I said, it was not too bad, you know, comes in a box. You stick it together, you plug it in, and boom.
That's
She says,
right.
oh,
Well, we'll see how mine goes. I'm one of the holdouts that does this after Thanksgiving. So probably this weekend we'll take it out of the box and hopefully it just opens like an umbrella and Christmas begins.
The other advantage is you don't have to water it.
Yep, that's another
Yeah.
thing. You know, bending down's not as easy as it used to be.
Yeah.
That's my wife. That's why my wife got the artificial tree. She was holding out, but she was having trouble watering it.
Yep. So, you know, I'm starting to learn these things.
Yeah, it's when the real trees, you know, that pan underneath the real tree
Mm-hmm.
starts to leak onto your beautiful floor, wooden floor.
Mm-hmm.
And after Christmas is over, you take the tree away and your floor is ruined.
That's right. So you have to put a piece of furniture there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not going to do that anymore.
Well, sounds good. Welcome everybody to the Titan Talks. I guess we'll get started here. Welcome. And we're coming to you from downtown Boonsville, Virginia. Today is December the 3rd, 2020, and it's 4:35 in the afternoon. And glad to have you all join us. And I'm saying all this because, you know, we're getting people to join us throughout the world and all over the country who are watching this, you know, after we recorded it and put it up. So be careful what you say. It's going to live on. So don't have a whole lot to do today. Just we have a couple of product vlogs or video logs that will show a little something we're adding to our website. But mainly this was just a time to get together and chit chat. And and another thing, some of you have asked about who don't have cameras or can see video. You can get an inexpensive camera, you know, off of something like Amazon for $10 to $20 that plugs into your computer, and you can have camera ability and also microphone ability. So if you look on Amazon for a webcam, you know, something, you can get something if you're interested. And if you need,
Costco has them too.
we can help you. Huh?
Costco has them. That's where I got this one.
All right. Yeah. I mean, they're all over the place. They're everywhere. So it is something that's easily attainable and they're easy to install. It's not a problem. Another thing to keep in mind is we will have another Titan Talks in 2 weeks on December the 17th, Thursday afternoon. It's going to sort of be a holiday festive Titan Talk. So, you know, wear something festive in your Santa hat, have a glass of festive beverage.
Uh-oh.
And then potentially those that join us, you know, Santa Jim might, you know, try to give out gifts or something. So, you know, keep that in mind for 2 weeks from now. We'd like to, you know, have some time with y'all again. So tell you what, we're going to go ahead and start with our first vlog. These are just short little clips, they're advertising things, but it shows you a little bit about a product, gives you an idea of what we'll be doing with everything, you know, on our product line as a way of demonstrating it. And, you know, these are the first attempts. We'll get better as we go, but we'll have a little fun with it. So I'm going to have our assistant roll one. So here we go. And Corey, our assistant, is working on it right now.
Yeah, we're seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get going here in a moment.
Come on, Corey.
I meant to get elevator music to play if something like this happened on my phone where I could turn it on. I have some doot, 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 doot. But it looks like I need more elevator music than I thought. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. You know, we practice this. It may not look like it, but we practice this.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Always harder under pressure.
Well, that's right. How are we doing, Corey? Yep. Well, we got something.
Back it up, Corey. There you go.
You know, we're professionals here. All right, a little bit of sound. Do, 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 do. Well, technical difficulty here.
Well, thank God you're not flying a plane, Jim.
Well, I mean, we spare no expense on putting these on for y'all. Welcome to Titan Trains, the Murphy Hopper, our newest edition. It's our large hopper car. This one was done in a Pennsylvania scheme, custom for a customer. It's a larger version of our hopper. The car is 78 inches long on the body, and then the couplers add about another 6 inches in length, and the width is about 16.5 to 17 inches on the total width as far as grab irons. Depth of the car is about 14 inches inside, and the car sits off the rail. The height is about 20 inches from the railhead to the top of the car. This car will haul about 1,000 pounds, so anything you put in it, it can take. It's built out of our standard aluminum construction with ribs and rivets, real rivets, bolt together frame, no welding. And it's designed to be a good-looking car, last in the weather for a long time. We use our automotive base coat, clear coat paint. And you can see the detail, rivet detail, ribs, ends and sides, couplers, and modern trucks. This car can also use our Bettendorf truck if a person wanted to. Thank you for viewing our Murphy Hopper, this one in the Pennsylvania scheme, and we can do any custom scheme for you. Thank you. All right, thank you, Corey. Well, that's the first one that we've got just on our new Murphy Hopper. You know, so that's a little beginning of what we're going to be doing. Anyone have any comments or questions or chats or something about anything else before we move on? It's awful quiet. Wow, such a wow factor, everyone's quiet, huh? Well,
Nice.
Jim, I talked to Mike Murphy this weekend.
Yep.
And he's looking forward to seeing one of those.
Yep. His the Titan, the Murphy Hopper Titan Train silver one will be. It had the graphics applied this week, and so we'll be posting some pictures of it here coming up pretty soon, and then it'll be sitting ready to ship out once Michael is out of his. He gets to have a little bit of knee surgery apparently, so as soon as he's done with that, he's going to receive it. So
I'll let him know.
yeah. I've talked to him today and other times. He's looking forward to it. So, all right. Well, we'll do one more here. We'll get Corey to put up another one here, and we'll have a little fun with it. And so, take it away, Corey.
Good luck, Corey.
Welcome to the Titan Trains 5-foot low side gondola. This one has the optional engineer seat that swivels, and the seat can fold down. It can also be moved in any place in the car. The overall length of the car is 61.5 inches on the body, and couplers add about another 6 inches on the overall length. 17 inches wide on the body, so with a depth of about 3 inches. So it's easy to get your legs in and out, yet also contain items. You can put 2 adults or pack it full of kids or any kind of stuff on this car. It has the capacity to carry anything that you can put on it. It has our standard rib and rivet detail. And also this one's been painted by us, Titan Trains, with our clear coat, base coat, automotive finish. And we use graphics by Miracle Railroad Products that we've applied here. Custom work done. We can do anything as far as graphics and paint schemes. This car is riding on our Bettendorf trucks, but the car would also be able to take the modern truck also. And our couplers fit in to the coupler pocket, and that's standard. And see this car on our website, titantrains.net. Thank you.
All right, there's another one in the can. That's just to give you an idea of something we're doing. That'll be in addition to pictures and specs on the website, you know, for anyone interested in what we're doing. But it's just another way of trying to give an idea of what we're doing, and we'll have it for locomotives. We'll also get better at it as we go. Understand these are the first ones we're doing. So,
Do you have spring-loaded couplers available?
yes, yeah. Our couplers have a sprung-loaded draft gear to it. A fairly standard system with 2 springs and a bushing in between.
Cool.
In the past, we've generally used springs all the time. It's on some occasions we've used hard rubber bushings because some people like that better. But it's funny, we changed to hard rubber bushings to have less cushioning or less back and forth motion when you're pulling big trains.
Slack action.
Yeah, slack action. Good, thank you. And, and then we got accused of cheapening up the coupler by using rubber bushings. Why didn't we use the spring? So here's another case where we did try to have a product improvement. We were accused of making it bad. So it's all a matter of personal opinion. Some people like the hard rubber bushings where you still get some cushioning of the blows, and some like the springs. We went back to the springs just because we took less heat for doing that. But you know, here over the years we've done several things to try to improve the products, and sometimes they bid us, and sometimes the customer reaction is well, why did you do that? Or why don't you do something? And a lot of times we'll fall back on the history of what works. And but we do try to keep an eye of product improvements and take things that you all say to us.
Can I ask a question, Jim?
Yes, sir.
Actually, it's for the whole group, really. I see there's 21 people out there. I'm sorry. When I am doing my job as yardmaster and also station master, I hesitate to allow people to get in with passengers in the high-sided gondolas.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some experience with, let's just say, when your feet are captive, it's hard if something happens for you to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep it down to either the bench seat, bulkhead flats, or any kind of a flat or anything like that, where if something happens, you can take your feet and put them out.
Yep.
You know, to secure yourself. Accidents do happen no matter how hard we try.
No, that's very true. Throughout the years, the gondola was a standard just to have as a car and to haul people or haul stuff. Flat cars also were similar to that. Um, Things with high sides like hopper cars, especially box cars where you're captive, it's hard to make them work out well.
Yeah.
And even higher sided gondolas where you got to swing your feet in and out.
Well, that's the problem is we even had an instance where somebody leaned a little bit too hard, but their feet was in the car.
Right.
It happened to be a passenger car, but it holds true with the high-sided gondolas as well. And
Right.
they had to go over with the car.
Right.
Because
So
they
that's-
couldn't get their feet out.
So as a car that really hauls people, it's hard to have a compromise of a good looking train car and a car that really hauls people well and safely. Our compromise to that, or our addition to the hobby, was to have what we call our bench car or chair car.
Yeah, no, that's
Very
good.
wide, very low to the ground. In fact, if it derails, the main body of it is smooth underneath and just skids 1 inch above the rail. And if it derails, it just immediately falls to the ground and skids and stays stable.
Yeah, anything like that works fine. It's
Yeah.
when your feet are captive
Right.
that I have major problems. I try to talk people out of it, but
Right. So many clubs throughout the country do have some rules against gondolas. Some do have specific riding cars. There are different versions of it. Basically, what you're saying is I think is true. Don't captivate your feet. Now, and when you have specific, then all of that's more true when you're hauling the public, I think. When you have club patrons running, or specific friends and guests who can ride nicely
or families.
appropriately, that helps. And then you can relax the rules a little bit. But
There's another side to that equation, though. You're hauling small children. You've had experience with kids trying to drag their feet in the gravel ballast.
Absolutely.
And for that reason, we put them in gondolas in a lot of cases.
Well, that's
Them
exactly
off the
what I
bench
did.
seats.
Yep.
I took and built one of the box cars. I lined the whole inside with a rug, very shallow, outdoor type rug. And I even used that stuff you use on your car door around the top edge of the box car.
Yeah.
And that's where we put the little kids. Believe it or not, I picked up some Thomas the Tank Engine seats that fit right in the box car.
Right. Mhm.
Anybody that isn't old enough to stand up or take care of themselves, they go in that, because
Right.
then they are secure. And even if they go over, they're not going to go anywhere and they're not going to hurt anything.
Mhm. There's all kinds of scenarios on how to haul people. It depends on who you're hauling, how long you're hauling them, where you're hauling them. A small track in a backyard is one thing. A public park is another. And then if you go out to Train Mountain and you're going to sit on the train for 2 or 3 hours, you kind of want a Barco lounger recliner to be riding on. So
Yeah.
it is a situation where you look at what you're doing and where you're going and what you want to haul, and what you want to, the type of equipment that you want. All the things that you all have pointed out, to me are true and ring well as far as, comments on the situation.
Jim, on Los Angeles Live Steamers, we've eliminated all high-sided cars, and
Mhm.
we run the bench cars only.
Yep.
And we've had quite a number of people get caught in high-sided cars, and we're not going to let that happen anymore.
Yep.
The little kids put their feet on the sides, and you're right about them trying to drag their feet. But as soon as they do that, the conductor will stop the train.
Yeah.
Try to explain it to the parents that this is a bad thing.
I
So
think
we
safety has to be number one.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Adirondack Live Steamers.
Oh God, yes.
Yes, when somebody
Oh.
didn't follow the rules, the only thing that saved them in the long run, as far as insurance and everything else, and a lawsuit, was the fact that somebody was photographing it. And once they showed the film, she backed off and the lawyers backed off totally. They still had to change their insurance company, but they saved their tail by somebody else taking the pictures. But that's a good example where, and she fell off right on the entrance to one of their large bridges. And
Well,
went down the right bank.
fortunately, the history of the hobby has been pretty successful as far as hauling people. When you look at the number of people hauled and the participants and the accident rate, it's actually very good. But that doesn't mean you need to relax. You know, you still need to be vigilant, haul them properly, and keep an eye on them. And if you do all those things, you can mitigate problems and accidents and any kind of suits that might follow. You know, if you do some due diligence on how you haul them and what you're hauling them in and so forth. Well, I think we're about ready for one more. We'll do one more vlog, and
Can I just add?
We'll talk some more and wrap it up. How about that?
Can I just add a quick note there?
Yeah, sure, Mark.
Yeah, our club, we use your bench cars, and they're really great. We love them.
Cool. Thank you.
We run some pretty long trains. We have two 2.5-inch scale RGS 20s. And we took one car and modified it, made a conductor car on the end, and we run the air brakes off of that. And,
yeah.
You know, a lot of times those guys, if they see anybody touching the bushes or dragging their feet, they just big hold the train, and that's it, you know?
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
That's good. Thank you. All right, Corey, you ready? Let's here we go.
Trains, 7-foot low side gondola. Today we're presenting you our 7-foot low side gondola. It has 2 of the optional engineer seats. This car can easily hold 2 to 3 adults or whatever you can put in the car. It has the capacity to carry it. This car is about 85.5 inches long on the body, and the couplers add about 6 inches to the overall length. It too is about 17 inches wide and about 3 inches deep, which again, this makes this a great all-purpose car to haul stuff or for you to get in and out of and easily swing your legs up and out of this car. The engineer seats swivel, seat backs fold down, and they can be put into any position that's comfortable. This car has all of our standard detail, ribs and rivets, and aluminum frame construction with a wood floor sheet, which is not part of the structure. It's riding on our Bettendorf trucks, but it could also ride on our modern trucks. And provisions for the couplers are built into the car. This particular car has some safety chain where you can hook up the safety chains between the 2 cars in case the train cars come apart. There, you can hook it to the other car. Thank you for viewing our 7-foot Titan Trains low side gondola.
All right, we appreciate you seeing that. I apologize. I thought we were going to be showing a different car instead of 2 very similar cars, but we'll do that next time. But anyway, keep in mind we're going to be having another Titan Talks holiday version in 2 weeks. We want to see you all then. Like I say, there might be Santa Jim might have something. We'll do a big toast. You know, bring a beverage so we can all do a toast to all of us and the upcoming new year and getting through this year and those who are less fortunate to get through this year. So anyway, let's keep the conversation going here. Someone have something to say?
Hey, Jim, this is Pete.
Yeah, Pete.
How about a future session on how you build and assemble your passenger cars?
All right. As a passenger car owner, you'd like to see that. Huh?
Well, I have mostly streamlined, but I do have one of your heavyweights.
Okay. I'm making a note here now.
Yeah,
Jim, do
it's
you
not
do,
immediate.
do you do inserts on those, you know what I'm talking about, something that looks like coal but it's made out of plastic?
Well, we have for our regular hopper car, we have
Yeah.
what we call a dummy coal load, and it's a ABS plastic load that fits inside and has a semblance of looking like a coal load. And the idea is it's easy to remove and also install. It just lifts in and out. It's lightweight, looks pretty good. It has not been a popular item. Things that go on to train cars have not been a popular item to sell. But on occasion, you do run across some people that put some very neat and cool loads on flat cars and train cars and, dummy, coal loads, tanks and vehicles, all really neat stuff that they put on them.
So are you saying that that's available if you want one?
Well, we have a dummy coal load available for our standard hopper. It's not available for the Murphy hopper because it would require a whole new mold. And unfortunately, it's just not worth it. But we do have one available for our regular shorter hopper.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Pete again. I built 2 of those hopper kits this past summer, and I have 2 of those dummy loads.
Yeah.
And the reason I did it is I built some wood bins to hold real coal that go inside the hopper cars.
Okay.
And I cover it with the dummy load to keep it dry and to make it look more presentable.
Well, send us some pictures because I think that's a great idea and a great use of it. Might help me sell some more of them.
Yeah, I got some on the cell phone. I'll kick them off to you next couple of days.
All right, awesome. We appreciate that. Anything else?
I had a question for the group. When you run trains for the public, do you only have riding cars in the train, or do you put in box cars and tank cars just for looks?
Well, at LALS, only riding cars that have air brakes, and also that the front train and engineer car are connected with chains. But the riding cars are all air braked, and if they break apart, they'll stop right away.
I know I recommend to people when they're wanting to have a combination of hauling people and look like a train, and this tends to be a little more on private use, but have a riding car or 2 and then sprinkle a box car and a caboose in between and on the end. And then the people recognize it as a train, and you can have through brake lines on them and so forth. And it looks like a train instead of people riding on a bench car, which is kind of hard to, pretty up more than people riding on a bench car. But throw a caboose on the end and a box car or a tank car in the consist, and voila, I got a train.
Yeah, at Finger Lakes, we have a fleet of bench cars with a conductor car, and then we normally have a caboose behind it. So we have markers as well as it looks like a train in the front and the back then.
Yeah. And a lot of it depends, again, it goes back to what's your purpose. And some clubs are very public hauling oriented, and the people just love it. They get to ride a train and they get to see some train-like stuff. And, especially if another member is running around with a train full consist of something, then they get to see that and see that the hobby's more than just riding, but also maybe building or acquiring train cars and operations. So all of you, I know some of you, all of you in this group are doing all these things, in many respects. And it's good that you're sharing it, so that more people understand it. And I guarantee you there's some people across the world who are going to see this and go, aha, we do that, or aha, that'd be a neat thing to do.
Yeah, I have to compliment Finger Lakes on that new addition they put in that just became active at their anniversary meet last year.
Mm-hmm.
I had the pleasure of being up there and riding on it, and it is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Cool.
They did a beautiful job.
Awesome.
Up
Well,
here where I'm up here where
Pass it
I'm
on to the
at.
guys that did.
Oop.
Up here where I'm at, I don't have anybody up around here that does any of the 1/8 scale or anything like that. So
where are you at?
I'm up here in New Brunswick, Canada.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, it's quite warm up here, so it's been quite warm this year. So, but
Mhm.
no, I got people interested, but until I get it up and going, they want to see it up and going and stuff like that. So, to me, this all has been a great thing, being able to get on to here to talk to you or listen to you guys and listen to Jim and stuff, and then also the different Facebook groups and stuff like that. It's been great just being able to get as much knowledge from all of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to have my trains that I can take them out, set them up, and have people ride them to try to get interested in them, get people up here
Yeah.
interested in them. So
Just so
Well,
I
thank
can
you.
just butt in for a minute, Malcolm, I'm in Ontario, and we
Okay.
actually have a Facebook group on Facebook, Canadian Outdoor Railways.
yeah, I just joined that here
So
a
if you
couple.
want, okay, yeah, I'll send you a message there after Jim's done on here. So
yeah, I was just going to
Awesome.
throw in a little bit, at my club, which is the Golden Gate Live Steamers,
Great club.
the oldest live steam club in the United States, I might add. We run our public trains now. As I mentioned, we run RGS 20 steam engines. So behind the steam engine, we have a box car that holds our propane. Then we get into our riding cars. We usually run about 8 or 10 riding cars. Then we run a conductor's car, and behind the conductor's car, we have a caboose that's set up to hold our air tank reserve for the brakes.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it. And we do a lot of running, but with the COVID, we haven't run our public train since God knows how long, and we just rely on donations. And you'd be surprised how much people pull in on that, So it's kind of, and the guys that are in charge of that public train, they just do it. They just love doing it, so where everybody's kind of in the dumps because we haven't been able to run the public train. And
Yeah.
LALS is shut down also.
Yeah. In our area,
I tend to have a glass half full attitude, and I tell you all, get ready for next year.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Eventually it's all going to break loose, and there's going to be a lot of activity,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're right. Yep.
Once they get these vaccines out, I know some people aren't going to take them, but there are going to be a lot of people that are. Once they get them out, I can see things being relaxed quite a bit.
Yeah, the day will come. It'll get better eventually.
Yeah.
I as we say in the train world, I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel. So
Yeah.
and it's not a train coming.
No.
One of the things that we did this year, since we were shut down the whole year,
Yeah.
we did some heavy maintenance. We replaced one of our bridges, a lot of ballasting and track alignment, tie replacement, a lot of things that would normally do during a regular year.
Yeah.
But we were able to take the bridge apart and really get into it. It took us a month because it's a bunch of old guys working in the woods. But it wasn't a problem because we weren't running. So that was the good news. We are supported mostly by dues and donations. No donations at all this year. Get through it. We're hoping to get running next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sooner the better.
That's
We've
right.
been doing the same thing, maintenance, signal maintenance, and then our engines, we keep those because you just can't let those steamers sit without running them. They just doesn't work that way.
Well, cool. Well, it's good having you all talk. I think it's a popular thing. Others like hearing what you all have to say. Let me throw out there that if you all have some video or pictures of what you do, your train or your operation, and you want to put it on one of these Titan Talks. I think we can entertain somehow incorporating it into what we do. Maybe on each Titan Talks, we put a customer or participant, don't have to be a customer, you can be a participant of what you do, and your club or your train or whatever, related to the hobby. So, send the cards and letters with that stuff. We'll put you on the Titan Talks.
You
Jim,
got it.
Yes, sir, Ron.
in reference to the putting some real cars in the consist, I have some rides where I have Sunday school classes out, and we put a car between each riding car, and that gives us our social distancing.
Good idea, especially now. That's a real good idea. Some of these obvious things, I'm surprised at a lot of the obvious things I don't always see. And that would be a really good sales tool for me, on social distancing. And that's a good idea. That's one way to do it so that you can haul some people and have some activity and enjoy the hobby.
Pretty well, and it really made it look more like a train that you would expect to see, and a caboose on the back. So everybody liked that much better than just a bunch of riding cars. Of course, they do like to pass each other in the towns and wave, but this added a little extra incentive.
Yep. Well, send us pictures, Ron. We'll show them. That sounds like it'd look pretty neat. We'll show what you're doing.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else? We're going to have to be wrapping it up here pretty soon. I feel like a talk show host today, but I certainly enjoy it when we just chat like this.
Hey, Jim?
Yes, sir.
I have a question. I've got an older car. Believe me, it's 20 years old, one of your refrigerator cars. And that was in the day when you didn't have the simple kit. You just had the pieces parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to drill all yourself.
Oh, I spent 24 hours at a milling machine doing that one day. Anyway, I need the top latches. Are those still available? Any of those kind of parts?
Yeah, they should be. And I think if you send me an email, I can, answer you very specifically, and also send a picture if you can of the car.
Okay.
But more than likely, a lot of these things have not changed over the years. Sometimes things like that have changed a little bit just due to having to make a different mold or a different way of making them. But I think in the case of these, what you're talking about, what we have available is what we started out with a long time ago.
Also, is there a retrofit kit so you can change the roof so you don't have to take them off? You can just lift them up and slide them over?
On the roof?
Yes.
Well, we have our hinged roof that we put on the box cars. Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty easy thing that can be added to any of our box cars. And so we have that available. It's not very expensive. I'm not sure what we sell them for, but I mean, it's a $25, $35 item, and allows you to lift up the roof and, lift it up and hinge it over one way or the other. It's not a true hinge, but it is a way that the roof stays on, and you can lift it up and get stuff in and out without scratching up the car or the roof.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey,
I
Jim.
think that was a real good addition to the box cars to have that hinged roof idea.
Well, thank you. Let me tell you, we went through a lot of design challenges to get to that very simple idea. People thought, well, you just put a hinge on it or a continuous hinge. And there's a lot of problems with trying to get a hinge on those. And then one day it came to me of how to do it. And turns out it was very simple and seemed to be effective and just worked out well. So thank you for liking it.
Well, hey, Jim, I just got a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Wondering how things are coming along on my engine and stuff.
Oh, it's coming along good. We could show you a picture of the body.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. And some of the chassis work going on. So We got pictures we could share with you.
That's cool because I'm chomping at the bit, I'll tell you.
Are you now? Well, very good. Well, we appreciate the order. And you know, you'll be running it next year, that's for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. I keep telling everybody at my track I got this engine coming, you know.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Sounds
Nathan,
good.
could you send me that link?
The link for what?
Nathan mentioned a link for a fellow from Ontario about the
Okay, I'm sorry.
outdoor railroad.
Mhm.
Hey, if you ever
Yeah,
want
I
to see,
just sent it to you. Sorry.
we got a website. It's it's Golden Gate Live Steamers or GGLS. And, you know, we got videos and all kinds of stuff on there if you're interested.
Okay. I think all of you are welcome to put some plugs in for your clubs or your tracks or as we do these things. Again, people throughout the rest of the country are watching these at various times and some of the world. And, you know, it's even though there's only on the average about 20 of us that do these sessions, they're getting viewed a lot after the fact by many different people. So that's one way to spread the word in today's media, you know, and show what you're doing.
Jim, I'm afraid I'm going to have to pull the plug here. Thank you very much for having these, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Ron. Take care.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right. All right, everybody. Anything else? It's about time to go.
Well, good
Remember,
seeing you, Jim.
Take care. Remember, 2 weeks from now, holiday special. You know, festive. Have a drink where we can toast everybody and toast the year and next year. And we'll all chat again. Take care and thank you for attending.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks,
Bye,
Jim.
Jim. See you later.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Jim.
much.
Thank you.